Welcome, everyone, to Cinema Regulars, the movie review show where we see so many movies in theaters that the employees know us by name and they don't ask us what movies we're seeing, they ask us how many. Now, today, man, do we have a treat for you guys. We got another fiver. It's been a while since we got a fiver on the podcast. We usually like to split it up, so it's about three or four, but we're going at all of them today. We had a bit of a backlog, but now we're catching up, so we're all good. We are starting off today with the newest 28 years later. Isaac and I sped through the first two movies a few weeks ago in preparation for this, so we were all prepared and ready to go. Then we'll be following up with the newest Brad Pitt movie, F1. Nice racing movie. We actually got to see that in 4DX down in Gurnee, Illinois, so that was pretty exciting. Then we'll be moving on to the newest Blumhouse movie, Megan 2.0. Then we will be following up with the newest Pixar movie, Elio. And then we'll be wrapping up with the newest movie from the John Wick universe, Ballerina. So quite a packed schedule here today. This one's going to be a long one, so strap in, put this on in the background while you're doing dishes or working or driving or whatever you're doing. And let's have a good time reviewing these today, okay? As always, guys, be sure to subscribe because now that we've hit that 1,000 subscriber mark, we really need our watch hours up so we can apply and get approved for monetization.
What?
That's the end goal. We want to get these videos monetized so then we can use any money that we gain from them to buy more movie tickets. And, that's our promise. Any money that we make off of these videos, once we get monetized, will only be used for movie tickets to bring you more of your favorite content here to the Cinema Regulars channel. And as well, be sure to use the timestamps below to skip around to your favorite movie or just jump ahead straight to the rankings if that's all you care about. I'm just now noticing how that kind of is counterintuitive to getting our watch hours up by skipping ahead just to the rankings, but you are free to do so. We put these videos out to the public, so you're free to ignore us all you want.
uh,
All that being said, let's get jumping right into this long ass podcast with our first movie of the night, or day as it is currently. 28 years later. Isaac, take us away, please.
it's been almost 3 decades since the Rage virus escaped from a biological weapons laboratory. Still living in a ruthlessly enforced quarantine, some have found ways to exist amid the infected. One such group of survivors lives on a small island connected to the mainland by a single, heavily defended causeway. When one of them decides to venture into the dark heart of the mainland, he soon discovers a mutation that has spread not only to the infected, but other survivors as well.
Hmm. Interesting, interesting. Now,
I don't I don't know what that
yeah, I don't know what he means
means,
to
but
the
we'll get
other
to that.
survivors, whatever, but like the mutation they're talking about is that they're getting smarter. They're getting the zombies, of course. They're getting smarter. They're getting more resourceful. They have these things called alphas where they're just like juggernauts basically, but they have like strategy. Like they'll hang back and like wait out survivors, and they'll just wait for them to crawl out of their hidey hole. Like they'll just like wait out the storm. um
It is interesting because I'm realizing something
what?
that it's very easy to forget about this movie, especially with the way that the Rage people look.
Yeah,
These are still humans.
yeah, they got the zombie virus, but
Well, it's not it's just a thing that makes them angry. They aren't reanimate. They aren't dead people walking about.
well, no,
They're
but like
humans with the
blanket term
virus.
zombies, there's multiple different uses for it. They're zombies.
Yeah,
They've
but like
they're
what
bitten, they're
what?
infected, and they've lost all of their humanity. That's a zombie.
Okay, but to that note, that's something that is different somewhat. Is that like you said it as we were leaving the theater?
Yeah.
Like, like this mutation seems like they are gaining back some of their humanity.
Yeah. Well,
Like not
I don't
not
know about
not past
humanity,
the
but
point of
they're sapiens rather. Like they're
yeah,
their cognitive function, their reasonability, their plotting, scheming. Like the alphas, they have, I don't want to say plans, but like they conduct themselves with more awareness of surroundings and how their prey works and acts and this and that and the other thing. There's a scene in the movie where there is a pregnant infective that is in the middle of giving birth, and there's a moment where she kind of just accepts help from the survivors,
yeah,
like the mom that's in the movie, that she's got like cancer and it's like affecting her brain and whatever. She like puts her hands out to like lace fingers with her to like kind of give her something to squeeze and brace against as she's pushing the baby out, and the infected woman like accepts that help and like doesn't attack them. Like she's focusing solely on the birth. As soon as the baby's out, she does return to being feral and try to kill them, but like she had that kind of like truce in the moment, and she had the reasonability. A rabid dog or something would not do that. In fact, it would be even more aggressive and protective in that moment.
yeah.
So there's
So
kind of some intelligence gaining back to the infected.
yeah. So what this movie basically is that like it's it starts off with a father taking his son to the mainland for the first time, and the son is like the main character of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
He is he's I believe 12 is what he
12.
said.
12.
12, yeah. He's 12 and his dad is taking him out to like kill his first infected basically.
Yeah.
Like show him how to like survey his surroundings and things like that. Uh and it's it's interesting because it's like one of those the kid is questioning everything that he's been told his whole life because he's only ever known this island, like this
Yeah.
small island for 12 years, and he's only known whatever it is that they tell him. So it's not necessarily like a cult thing, but it is a like
No.
no, it's not that, but like the way he's
Trust me, they're
acting
not the
and the way
cult in the
he's
movie.
no, they are not the cult in the movie. No. But like he's questioning things like they've been lying to him his whole life.
Um,
They're like cuz he's talking
example,
about
because
like well cuz like he's been told all this time that there is no doctor. And even when he asked his dad about the thing, he's
well, that's not
like
like
about the smoke,
cult. That's
he's
not
like
that's
that's a
not a
doctor.
that's not a cult like controlling information.
I'm
That's
not
like the
saying that it
people.
is a cult, but I'm saying he's questioning them. Like he gets into his head that they're
No, that's
lying to
that's
him
not a
like
lie
that.
though. They went out and they found him and he had hundreds of dead bodies and he was burning them and then just waved to him like blood smeared down his face. "Oh, hi neighbor, howdy do." And they were just like, "Oh my god, this guy's fucking insane." I don't care if he used to be a
Yeah,
doctor, he's barely sentient now. And then they ran away in
fair.
fear. That's not like lying to him to suppress information of the outside world. That's like, no, we that guy's crazy. And then he was like, oh, you're just misunderstood. You just have a different philosophy on
Yeah.
life and death and
This
what have you.
yeah. This movie did go hard though.
Yes, yes. This is one of the moments. The trailer goes hard as fuck. I don't believe the trailer kind of seemed to make it look a lot like cooler and intense than it actually was, but I still think it was a good movie overall. One thing the trailer doesn't prepare you for is the shocking amount of penis in this movie.
Yeah, there's an insane amount of penis in this movie.
There's a
There's a lot.
vast number of dongs hanging out. Was not prepared for that. thankfully they the
Hey, I will say it adds to the fear of seeing not only, a zombie running at you at full speed, not stopping no matter how many arrows you throw into it. It's also got its wiener out. And that is like,
that's pretty scary. Yeah.
uh, I don't want you anywhere near me at all.
The yeah, no, they shot the shots that they did cinematography wise. They did it in a way where they don't just throw it directly in your eyes, but you do see it out of direct line of
It's like
sight. So
that
it's like you
SpongeBob
notice it, you're
meme
like,
where
ah,
his
yeah.
eyes are like off to the side.
No, it's not
It's
like
like
that.
you're
It's not
trying to
like that
focus.
at all.
You're,
It's not like that at
you're,
all.
you're
Because
trying to focus on the scene, and then all of a sudden it's just like, ah.
no, it's not. No, it's not like that at all. So they make it so as you're focusing on the scene, they don't throw it up directly in front of where your eyes are already looking, but you do kind of like, okay, it's I'm not going to look at that, but like, thanks for not throwing it directly where I was already looking. Um the
I
other thing cinematography wise, that was great. Thank you for not putting directly in my line of vision. But every single like arrow kill in this movie,
Ooh.
that was beautifully. That was gorgeous. I love that. Every single time someone's like a zombie is like hit with an arrow, it like goes through their head, pauses, the camera swivels around, gives you a second angle of it, like a freeze frame, and then continues back with it. So like you get like a choo choo choo, like you get a kill cam basically for every
Yeah,
single one with like multiple angles, and I thought that was really cool because it adds to the like impact of the death, or not the death, like the
yeah.
kill of one of the infected. And I thought that was brilliant.
It's really cool because it also, like, it accents when a kill is actually made.
Yeah,
Like, it's pretty it's pretty cool.
like it almost helps you keep
Um,
track of how many are being taken out.
yeah, I do have to say, like, of the zombie like variants there are now,
Yeah.
like obviously the alpha is the scariest. Those slow, like fat ones,
The pigs.
those are actually kind of genius in a way.
What do you
Like
mean?
they're idiots. Like they're idiots, but like they're just slow crawling like across the ground. Like you can get away from them easily enough, but if you let your guard down long enough, like they'll just fucking sneak up on you.
Yeah, like they're sleepers.
Yeah.
If you're not paying attention,
Like if
and
you're
they're
just
not
not paying, like it
they're
literally
not at
does
eye
that in the
level.
movie. Yeah, it literally does that in the movie. They're focused on another one, and this other one is just slowly creeping up,
Yeah.
which is also just really good to add tension as well. Like
Yeah.
there's a whole
Oh
scene in
yeah.
the
The
movie where they're like
tension in this was
asleep and
great.
it's like crawling up and like it's about to like get one of them and then just like something happens real quick and then it's all of a sudden it's morning.
Yeah. Like yeah, tension was done very well in this. I gotta give props to the acting. Everybody fucking nailed it.
Oh yeah, everyone was
That
great in this.
the main kid, Spike, dude, he was phenomenal. Like you don't get a whole lot of good like child actors a whole lot, but like he's great. He's great.
Yeah.
Absolutely
This is
fantastic
gonna
actor.
catapult him into
Yeah.
the limelight
Yeah, I'd like
for
to see a
this.
lot more from him going
This is
forward.
only the third thing he's ever done.
Nice. Well, I'm
So
impressed. I'm
I
impressed.
oh, uh, just so you know, through looking at IMDb, uh, we were right on something that I will bring up because we're talking about acting and stuff right now. I will bring up something that we were talking about later. Okay,
Okay.
like this is okay. So anyway, no, the acting in this was phenomenal. I thought they got really good people for this. Aaron Taylor Johnson was
Yeah.
great as the like drunk womanizing dad he was.
Yeah, I my only gripe is that he wasn't in the movie enough. I was kind of hoping that it would be more like a father son survival thing,
Yeah, that's
and
fair.
he was gonna be along for the ride. Like if they had, far be it from me to criticize like where they're going narratively, because I don't know if they're doing something, if there's like some kind of message behind that. And also they set up for like a sequel to this, like a follow-up, which I expect to be getting pretty soon within the coming years, so I don't know exactly where they're
Um,
going with everything. So far be it from me to criticize the direction of everything, because like there's, I don't know what they're going for, like creatively or personality wise, or like story building, character development, like this, that, and the other thing. And there's also another movie coming up. They set up a sequel at the end of this, so we'll be getting that in the next few coming years, and I don't know what they're doing with that either. But I personally, me personally, wanting to see more out of Aaron Taylor Johnson, if they had kept it where he went, like he accompanied the son and the mom to go find the doctor, I would, that would have been great, because we would have get, because I just think Aaron Taylor Johnson is just a great actor as he is, and I would want
he
to see
is.
more of him in the movie. The beginning part where he takes his son out, like that was great. I thought there was not a single damn thing wrong with that. Like I have no criticism, no nothing, no notes at all. That was that whole first beginning second segment where he takes his son out, they go do the hunting stuff, they get trapped in the house, and then they get run back with the alpha chasing after them. I thought that whole part of the movie was fantastic.
Oh, it was great. I loved all like he's such like a supportive dad in
Yeah.
like this like apocalyptic wasteland.
Yeah, no, he was a
Uh
great dad in the whole first part, but then he gets back and he cheats on his dying wife, and then he's just an asshole from there on out. And I was like, oh, come on, man. I was looking forward to seeing a lot of Aaron Taylor Johnson in this movie.
yeah, and then at the end of the movie, like when Spike just decides to just leave
Yeah.
and just kind of do what he is, like he runs out and he like yells his son's name, but it's not really in a Spike come back. It's like he's angry
Yeah. Yeah. I
and
as they do the follow-up movie to this or show or whatever they decide to do, because they better, because that ending. I hope we
yeah.
do get a lot more of the dad's character on the island, what what they're doing with the baby, and touch more on that, on how that's going.
So speaking of a sequel,
Yeah.
uh according to this and the projected release date, we'll have that in 6 months.
Really?
According to the projected release date, it is January 16th, 2026.
Wow, I'm impressed. They must have
It's
shot.
called They must have shot them side by
Yeah,
side,
they must
yeah.
have shot them like right after the other.
It is in post production, it says on IMDb.
Fantastic.
And it is a film. It's what it says.
Okay, good.
So, um
Called.
that's just what it's saying on IMDb. And YouTube and Google is saying
Called.
it as well. It's called 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple.
Interesting. And that's
So,
presumably going to dive deeper into this cult that he runs into at the end of the movie.
yes.
Quite interesting. I'm interested
It
in
is
seeing that.
weird that I'm a little, huh. I'm a little wondering where this is going with that because like it's weird that it's about 6 months out and there's still nothing for it like out.
Well, because they want, well, yeah, because the current movie's still in theaters. They don't want to start
Yeah, good point.
putting trailers out for something that people are going to see next Friday, for the sequel to something people are going to see tomorrow. And it's just like, hey, you know how your mom died and now you're with us, the
Oh,
cult, and it's
it's a
like, what? I was just gonna see that. Yeah, they wouldn't
yeah.
do that. They would announce it.
Um It is also Danny Boyle, the director, says he does intend this to be a new trilogy.
Interesting. Interesting.
So it sounds like he has a full story planned out for this, which honestly is quite that makes a lot more sense for this. Like he's setting up more movies.
Yeah.
I like and he knows he's getting more. So that's good, but it also kind of sucks from a viewer's standpoint, especially the way he ended this one where it's
Yeah.
like, well now I gotta wait
Yeah, because
and I gotta
you
like
kind of get punched in the face with something that's like completely different from the tone and vibe of the whole movie.
yeah.
It's like you're watching like
Cause
The Walking Dead, and then it just skirts into fucking, I don't know, Blood Punch, Willy's Wonderland
yeah,
type shit at the very end, and it's like, what is going
yeah,
on?
well, yeah. The movie like starts with a scene that you then like you can depending on who you are, you'll either quickly forget about it or you'll be sitting there going like, what the fuck was that first scene about?
Yeah,
Like, there's nothing in this movie is connected to that shit.
yeah. I mean, yeah, and then you like at the end, I did backtrack, like, oh yeah, that guy did like fucking write his name everywhere, and like we
Yeah,
did see like all the little clues leading to this. So I
yeah.
was like, oh yeah,
I did catch that while we were watching the movie, but I'm like, nothing is coming up. Like, I thought he was gonna run into them on his way to see the doctor,
yeah.
but then he didn't. And I'm just like, so what the fuck is this like
Well,
riddle you're putting together in the background that I'm not seeing? And
I
then you
guess
get that at the end, and it's
I guess we'll find out in
like
6 months.
yeah, it is nice to know that there is a payoff for this, and this isn't just
And
a thing
quite
that they
soon,
did
and quite
hoping for
soon.
a sequel. So
Rather than waiting like a year or two or three to get an answer to this, we're getting it in 6 months, which I'm happy about. That's very good.
yeah, the fact that the entire movie is already filmed
Yeah, yeah.
is crazy. Like it's in post production.
That's a man who works fast. Do you have anything else
Yeah.
to say on this movie?
Um, I did like the mom. I thought she did a very good job in this as
Yes.
well. Like we didn't really talk about her when we were talking about stuff, but I actually like Jodie Connor as an actress. She was actually in she was in the Bike Riders.
Oh
She
yeah.
was Benny's wife.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
So
she
like
again, she nailed it. Everybody nailed it. Everyone was fantastic, from the doctor to the kid to the mom and the dad, and even the townsfolk side characters.
anyway, moving on to the rankings.
Moving on to the rankings, indeed. I'm going to give this a very solid 7 out of 10. Very high 7 out of 10. This was very good, very competent. Cinematic, great. Acting, great. Writing, great. I'm a little confused on narrative structure, but it's supposedly, as you said, the first part of a new trilogy. So hopefully the next instance that we're getting in, again, 6 months is very shocking. Um, so hopefully that follow up will clear some things up. But I'm very interested in seeing where this goes from here.
Yeah. So I'm also giving this movie a 7 out of 10. I thought it was very well. I thought it was very well done. It wasn't like my confusion is what adds to it. It is what contributes it to being
Your
a 7.
hesitancy,
Like,
yeah,
yeah, because like there was a lot in this movie that I'm just like, where are we? What is I'm because what I was thinking the whole movie was like I never thought that the mom had cancer. I thought because I had read the synopsis before we watched the movie, I thought that she was like infected in a new way,
yeah.
kind of thing. I
Like the
thought that's what that was
virus
gonna be.
evolves into some kind of like disease that affects people like that, like a slow burn
Yeah,
infection. Yeah,
yeah, but nah, it's just she has cancer.
yeah,
And like that was kind of disappointing. I was hoping for a little more from that angle, especially because it was built up the whole movie.
yeah.
Like so it's it's a little disappointing, but overall, like this is a good movie.
Yeah,
I liked everyone's stuff. Originally, I was thinking like I didn't like Aaron Taylor Johnson's like accent he was doing, but the more I've thought about it, like yeah, he did a good job.
yeah.
Like, and honestly, an accent is kind of just like whatever you like. It's made up anyways, technically. Like
So
so.
yeah,
But no, good movie.
nice. Moving on to our next movie, we'll be taking a look at F1. That's Formula One for all you non-car enthusiasts. Isaac, please take us away.
In the 1990s, Sonny Hayes was Formula One's most promising driver until an accident on the track nearly ended his career. 30 years later, the owner of a struggling Formula One team convinces Sonny to return to racing and become the best in the world. Driving alongside the team's hotshot rookie, Sonny soon learns that the road to redemption is not something you can travel alone.
Nice. I need to congratulate this movie. It is, in some way, a reflection of Twisters from last year in the way that it is just a perfect summer movie. It is a perfect, just like good, fun, enjoyable experience that you don't like get a whole lot. You know, and it's just a happy coincidence that these were both things that we got to see in the 4DX. So we got to experience them even better than most people did. And
Yeah. I,
it's fantastic.
Do we want to talk about the 40X experience first before we start talking about the movie itself?
Yeah. No, so with the 4DX experience, those who don't know is that they will you're put in special seats and there's special like effects all around the room. So like when wind is blowing, there's fans that will blow wind in your face and the seats will like swerve and rock and like
Like
move
shake.
and shake and rumble and they'll like spray air at the back of your legs and there will be fog machines when smoke gets up and then even when there's like big splashes of water they'll even spritz you in the face with a few droplets. Now other experiences it was much more constant. With
Yeah.
this movie I don't think they had the 40X premise in mind at all if anyone ever does. But like because there's a lot of like talking sequences
Yeah.
where nothing's really happening, and then 10 minutes later there'll be another F1 race that they're in, and then the seats will start like swaying back and forth and like rumbling again. And you're like, oh yeah, we are in a 40X. That's right. like
Yeah.
like you,
There was one point I leaned over to Mo and just went, the seats haven't moved in a while. And
yeah
then like immediately after they started moving.
yeah
But like it was something that but that's a testament to the movie though, because it took me till almost the end of the scene to realize that oh yeah, that's right. These are usually moving.
yeah.
Like the movie
So
was
it's
just that like engaging.
yeah, it's not like a because the risk we run when we go see movies in 40X is that we enjoy like the immersive experience more than the movie itself and we end up ranking it higher.
Hmm.
But with the 40X actually only accenting the racing scenes, which you don't really need to pay too much attention to, is is actually a good thing because you're equally engrossed in the actual like conversations and the arguments and the talking points and like what they're discussing and actual plot
Yeah.
beats than just vroom vroom race. I mean,
Yeah.
and don't get me wrong. So it was about like half the movie, I would say, maybe a little less than half, where the seats weren't moving. You know,
Yeah.
because of talking scenes and there's not really anything to do there, but the parts that were 40 with the seats moving and everything going on into that, fantastic,
Yeah.
absolutely
Oh yeah.
totally immersive. Those were excellent, fantastic. I need more. I
God,
need more words because I keep saying
I
excellent and
wish
fantastic.
I say that again.
Whoa.
Uh, I wish we could have seen Gran Turismo in
Yeah.
40X if it even was. Like that would have been cool, which that is another thing. Also, I wanted to bring this up. Kind of weirdly going back to that, Gran Turismo, first movie we ever did on the Cinema Regulars podcast, and now we're back doing another movie about F1 racing.
I don't think
Like,
Gran Turismo was F1. I think that was just a regular race cars.
no, I thought it was F1.
Was it Formula One? You're the
I think it was
computer guy.
Formula
You gotta
One.
look it up. I'll keep talking though.
Yeah, yeah, you keep talking.
So you, I'll keep talking. I have nothing to talk about. No, I really enjoyed actually the like confrontational, aspect of the characters. Like Brad Pitt being like a kind of, loose but like my way or the highway kind of older guy, and then his younger partner being really like self-centered and hard-headed. Like they're you kind of have a situation where they're so much alike each other, and then they're so different as well, because they butt heads in a very well thought out way. It's not like they're just like, oh, you're different from me, like I like things my way, and you won't listen to me, kind of thing. They're very, very well constructed in their, rivalry there. And I think that plays off very well in the movie. It like their relationship with each other is extremely well written. That's one of the higher points of the movie.
So, while Gran Turismo, the game, does not solely focus on Formula One driving, it is still Formula One.
Hmm.
Like what they end up doing, like the racing and like this, like there were some of the same tracks in that movie that were in this one.
Oh, interesting.
Like that was another interesting thing by that this movie has is that the actors were actually driving these cars.
Yeah, they wanted to cut
Like
down on CGI as much as possible, so they actually just trained them to drive the cars, and that was pretty cool.
they went to the racetracks on race weekends.
Yeah.
So not like during an official season, but just like places where just people get their cars together and race. And that's what they're doing.
Nice.
Like that's really cool actually, especially Brad Pitt cuz like he's got to be getting up there in age.
He's in his 60s, dude. And might I say, in the least gay way
61.
possible, bro looks good still. He's
Yeah,
fucking
like
cut.
he is. He's very like he's always been like the Hollywood hot guy. Like,
Yeah,
but
but
I like
now
that
he's
he's
for the
now
boys
doing
though.
more.
Now he's doing
Yeah,
Bullet Train, and he's doing this shit, and
like he's doing more like
he's for the guys
sit
now.
like action stuff, and I want more of that. Same thing with Ryan Gosling. Ryan Gosling's doing a lot more like action stuff nowadays, and
Yeah.
I'm liking that. But uh, it was also kind of cool to see like this movie, like first and foremost, pretty much by the end of it is a passing of the torch movie. And not in the way that a lot of movies like that you would use that for is. It's not like a, legacy, like, it's a remake and the old legacy characters are coming on to pass the torch to the new characters.
Yeah.
It is very much old school meets new school, and like teaching this rookie, like he's teaching this rookie that is his partner the whole movie, that he needs to kind of just let it go, focus on the race,
Yeah.
don't let everything else distract you. like it's cool that it's like that, as well as the fact that you're taking someone who's very well known in an actor world and putting him up against someone that is relatively unknown. I've never heard of this dude, never seen this dude before in my life.
Yeah.
Like, so it's kind of cool in that sense where you have this, you know, new guy meets old guy, and the old guy teaches the new guy what's up, and
And it's
that's
kind of
kind of cool.
mirrored in the movie itself and in the acting
Yeah,
world. Pretty cool.
yeah,
Yeah. No, I completely agree. Again, I think their relationship and them butting heads is not only like good part of the movie, but it's just immaculately written and designed based on their personalities.
yeah, and it's really cool once you get to a point because it's always that point where it's like these two characters they meet, they don't like each other because they're too different, but then they have a conversation and they realize, oh, we're actually pretty similar. We're just at different points in the road.
Yeah, but it's not
And
always
that's
it's not always like it's not like they, oh, I understand you now, and then they're all good. Like there's high points and low points between them throughout the whole movie. Like they're constantly
yeah,
like a zigzagging graph on where they are with each other, and like it's a very interesting and complex relationship between the two of them. And I
yeah.
thought that was great.
Um,
And also,
I love all the comedy in this movie.
oh yeah,
This movie is funny as shit. It really is. The
it
amount of
is.
times that I found myself like just genuinely laughing. The one joke that it still gets me is the one from the trailer where he asks him, "When was the last time you won a race?" He's like, "Last week in Daytona." And they're like, "No, I'm at Formula One." And he's like, "Oh, well then, same as you." It's like it's really funny.
Yeah, no, every quip out of Brad Pitt's mouth is like expertly crafted in a forge of the gods. It's
It's
great.
so good. I love the moment later when he ends up with when he's with the girl and the manager comes to the room and he's like, "Where is he?" And she's like, "What? No, like
How dare
he's
you
not
assume
here. I have
that
how
I would
dare you
sleep with
assume
them?
like first of all, I am a professional and I told you that and I respect that. Second of all, how dare you even insinuate that something like that would have happened? And third of all, yeah, he's out on the balcony."
Yeah, he's here. Yes, he is here. Yeah.
I thought what was gonna happen was he was just gonna walk into view behind
Yeah.
her in the
And thoroughly,
doorway.
yeah, he's here. He's over
But
here.
no, that was great.
Yeah.
Like I loved all those things, and it like shockingly enough, like Sonny Hayes is a very well written character,
Oh yeah.
like insanely like well rounded. He's just a guy he's just chasing this moment that he felt once in his life, and he wants
No,
to feel it again.
he failed the moment and he got his like redemption
Yeah.
there, which I thought
But
that was great as well.
what I'm saying is him as a character, he's not focused. Like, yeah, he wants to win and he wants to do like he wants to be a good racer, but he's just he's just chasing that moment. That
Yeah.
moment where everything where he just tunnel visions and he's just flying. It's so cool.
Yeah. It's
And when
a
they got to that point where he felt that moment again, cinematically, that was beautifully well done.
yeah.
Because it just tunnel visions to just be the road in front of the car,
Yeah, he's just
and
gliding down the track.
there's no sound either. Like
A lot of movies
it's just the
a lot of
so
movies don't use silence as well as they should do. I think the
yeah.
best movie to ever use silence is Godzilla minus one. I think it used it fantastically at that ending, and they did it very good in this one too when they did that flying sequence where it all just smoothed out. Even in the chairs when like swerving, like the chairs like moved like so like smoothly and fluidly and calmingly, and it was like hell yeah, that came across immaculately. Um,
It-
I I think the best thing though about this movie is Formula One is very like nitpicky and it's very like rules and
Very niche.
regulations. No, it's very like heavy on the rules and regulations in the sport. Like all these, qualifiers, classifications, this, that, and the other thing. It's very like strict and rule heavy. And Brad Pitt's character, he uses that to his advantage by calling out like making sure that his tires pop at a right second so that he can throw off the game and get everyone like they get like a safety car to come out and be like, oh guys, we gotta clear the wreckage off the track, so everyone needs to slow down while we do this. And he uses that to his advantage to get like higher positions and do that. And they do it in a way where two guys like us, we don't watch racing, we
Hmm.
definitely don't watch Formula One. It's might as well be Greek to us, but they explain everything in such a succinct and common sense way where it's very, very easy to grasp these rules of this sport that you're just thrown into the middle of and don't know anything. Know what I know about Formula One before going to this movie? They drive in a circle. And they don't
They
even
don't
do they
even
don't
drive in a
even do
circle.
that. No, they drive the racetrack's all squiggly. So I didn't even know anything. All I knew is what the car kind of looked like because I had a Hot Wheels and my dad's like, "That's a Formula One," and I was like, "Whoa." So I knew what a Formula One car looked like, what it was shaped like. That's what I knew about the racing. And now I know more because they make the rules and regulations and technicalities and you know this, that, and the other thing. They make it so like succinct and easily graspable, and
Yeah.
they did that very, very well. Like
Yeah,
it's
because
not hard to follow this movie at all, even if you don't know anything about it like we do.
yeah, it's very nice it being like a cinematic thing. I'm not normally one to watch racing. Like my family has watched like NASCAR and stuff. And like after we watched Gran Turismo, I tried to I was looking at some races kind of thing
Yeah,
just to be like, oh, that was cool. I kind of want to see what this is about. And it's like still just dudes driving
yeah.
in laps. It's
No,
really all it is.
when they make movies about it and there's like a story backing it up, and that it's far more interesting.
Exactly. That's the thing is that like unless you are following everything super closely,
Yeah,
like you can't just jump in and enjoy like the sport itself.
yeah.
But
Like,
having this story, it's really cool to try and like I like these because they also bring people to that.
yeah. Yeah, I can imagine a lot of people becoming interested in Formula 1 racing because of this. Like
Yeah.
if you were there and you were watching the races at home during like all this stuff, and like you see Sonny Hayes like manipulating the penalty system to get his team ahead, that would be fucking crazy. And I would come back and tune in to the next race. I would follow this along. Like, you see
Yeah.
it in the movies where like these race car drivers like gain like all these fans, and like they blow up on social media, and all the news reporters asking him questions and interviews and stuff. And you're just like, I have never seen a fucking NASCAR driver interview or any racing anything in my entire life. Like, you would have to be
Yeah.
already into that. But seeing it like this, you can absolutely see how he would gain popularity, how like
Yeah.
all eyes would be turning towards this. And I thought it was great. I don't really have
Yeah.
anything else. I kind of touched base on all the points I wanted to bring up. Do you? Cool. Then we can move on.
Not that I really have, no.
Cool. We can move on into the rankings then. I'm gonna give this a very strong 8 out of 10. I thought this was a fantastic movie. Very, very good summer movie. It's just pure enjoyment, and it's not even like a turn your brain off enjoy it. It's actually like engaging, and it's well thought out, well put together, and it's exciting to watch. Actually, I said at the beginning, it's kind of like a spiritual successor of Twisters from last year, because it's in the same way. It's just a fantastic, perfect summer movie that just pushes through all the other stuff that's either like, in too niche a genre to really blow up, or it's, just full of garbage that nobody likes or cares about, and it's annoying in different ways and stuff, like some other movies on this list here. But it's just finally just puffing out its chest and it's like, I'm a good movie in the middle of summer, and I
Yeah.
love to see that.
Yeah, this is I'm also giving this movie an 8 out of 10. This was just very fun. Like I had a great time watching it, and like the movie is 2.5 hours, and not at very little during this movie did I actually feel that.
Yeah, no, you were just strapped in and enjoying every minute of it.
The only times I ever really noticed it is when it was at the same times that I noticed that the seats weren't moving.
Yeah.
And that's really all it is. And that's just because my brain allowed me to do like a reassess and just like, oh, yeah, we've been sitting here for a while.
Yeah. And we got to reiterate once again, we don't care about racing. Like
No, we don't.
we're not Formula 1 fans, we're not NASCAR fans. I've never seen an actual like race in my life, not even on TV. I enjoyed this. Like it's just that
Yeah.
good that it's not like, oh, it's just for fans of racing. It's like, no, it's just a good story in a cool sport.
Yeah, no, anyone could do this. I'm really liking this thing where, and I want to see more of it, of people telling stories within a sport that isn't just baseball or football.
Yeah. Yeah. Or basketball. Those are the big three. Like I don't care about movies about those sports. Okay, give me a highly dramatic lacrosse movie, and I will be there.
Uh,
It's true. All right,
all
moving
right.
on to our next movie. We have from Blumhouse, Megan 2.0. Isaac, take us away, please.
2 years after Megan, a marvel of artificial intelligence, went rogue and embarked on a murderous rampage, its creator, Gemma, has become an advocate for government oversight of AI. Unbeknownst to her, a defense contractor has created a military grade weapon known as Amelia, the ultimate infiltration spy. However, as Amelia's self awareness increases, it becomes less interested in taking orders, hoping to stop Amelia. Gemma decides to resurrect Megan, making it faster, stronger, and more lethal. Wow. I'm gonna just say this right out the gate because I don't give a fuck about this movie. By the end of this movie, every single word in that is wrong. The only thing in that actually holds up by the end of the movie is the fact that she became an advocate for government oversight of AI. That is it. That's the only part of that that actually remains true.
You didn't
And the
tell me
fact that it's
she
two
didn't
years
resurrect
later.
Megan?
Not for the reasons it gives it. And also, no, because Megan is still around. So, okay, hold on. So,
Oh my god.
this movie is bad.
I
Let's get that out of the way.
something else
I
before you go in there. Something else we need to get out of the way because I think the people who made the movie forgot this as well. The audience probably did too. Uh, Brief reminder: the first one was a horror movie.
exactly. Okay, so they could have taken what they already did and made it a horror movie and made it good.
Yeah, no.
Because no, okay, well, at least more entertaining than this slop. Uh
Isaac's so angry that the frame rate's dropping.
True. Well, my frame rate's already dropping.
That's fine.
But
The
anyway,
audience will forgive
like
us.
yeah, but anyway, my thing is that so thing it opens up with them showing us this Amelia. And I love how they make it sound like that you'll get more progression to that. No, she's disobeying orders fucking immediately after she's introduced.
Yeah.
So that's out the window. But anyway, they have that, and then it leads to the FBI investigating Gemma more. And then they raid her house to like implant a bug on her like devices or whatever, and in so doing Megan reveals herself that she's been around this whole time,
She's
just
been
like floating in the
she's
Wi-Fi or
yeah,
whatever.
she's just been hiding in the walls.
But
digitally.
They could have kept that concept.
What
Like
concept?
they could have kept the concept of Megan is now because they tried to do this thing where it's like, oh, Megan, I need a body. You need to rebuild me because my mind can't exist without a body. And it's like they could have taken that exact thing without the her needing a body thing and just kept it where she evolved into an AI that is now existing like in the web kind of thing. So it's much harder to get rid of her. She can be literally everywhere. Like she literally takes out all these like FBI agents that are in the house just with the appliances that are in the house and everything. Like she just fucks with that shit. You could have just kept that, kept it a horror movie, and now Megan is all around them
Isaac.
and they're trying to get away from her.
Isaac.
Yes, I am aware that this is AI. I am
No.
aware that this is AI.
No.
Afraid.
Yeah, it's Afraid. The movie Afraid. They
I'm
did.
aware.
Blumhouse did go that route, and it fucking sucked.
Because you know what? If they would have taken an already existing IP like this
It
and
still
did
would
that,
have sucked. No,
it would
'cause
have been more interesting.
that's not what the problem with AI was. With Afraid was.
Afraid.
That's not the problem with Afraid. It was just completely bad.
But
Go watch the podcast we did on Afraid. It's terrible.
okay, fair. But what I'm saying is that they could have still made this a horror movie.
Yeah, they could have like kept a horror angle. They didn't. They took out. There's like no scary bits or what Blumhouse
No,
passes as scary.
it's
There's
all
not a
girl
single
bossing.
jump. There's not a single jump scare. Right. They were trying to go for a sci-fi comedy, right? Which is weird to go from
Yeah,
a horror. But it's
yeah.
not funny in any way. There's like no
No.
good jokes whatsoever, so it's not a comedy. Like you can
What?
pretend.
You didn't
Oh, it's a
laugh when
normal.
she said, "Hold on to your vaginas"?
You know what? I left mine at home, so I couldn't. I couldn't. Um, but like it's not funny. Like I don't even know if they really try to do jokes. Like I can't think of like more than 3 examples where they tried to do a joke. It's just Megan being a bitch, and that's supposed to be funny.
And then Cole being a fucking retard.
Yeah, yeah.
Like this is what I was what I just realized when I said it's just girl boss moments, and then I realized they made every single male character in this movie either a bad guy or b a bumbling idiot.
Or
Like
a bumbling idiot bad guy.
true,
Forgot about
but
that.
like every single time, like Cole tried to be like the one time Cole tried to be like the hero guy. It's just like, you idiot, the fucking screen's frozen. They aren't seeing any of this. And it's like, fucking why? Like, what was the point
He's
of
like,
like
well, how
subverting
about
that?
this? My ace in the hole. And it's like, it's broken. And he's like, what?
Yeah.
And I'm like, come on, bro. He fucking sniffs his own chloroform rag. Like, he wipes the sweat off his face
Yeah.
with a rag, and he's like, wait, this is the clean one. This is the. And then he falls down a shaft. I'm like, come on, man. You're
Dude,
really?
they are trying to.
Don't
They have
you
a whole
build
ass.
robots for a living? Aren't you supposed to
They're
be smart?
having. They're having a whole ass like infiltration of this event thing, and he gets distracted by a pretty girl. Like they're like, Cole, do you have eyes on whatever? And he's just talking to a girl and not fucking paying attention.
Yeah.
And also, oh my god, fucking Gemma, like they literally say, hey, don't contact anyone because Amelia will hear and all that. And it's like, first thing she does at a sign of anything going wrong is violate that rule.
Yeah,
The
like it
this whole
immediately, like, you're right.
this whole movie doesn't work if this chick wasn't thinking with her dick. Like I like
Oh my god.
like
And the guy who you think is going to be the bad guy, guess what? He's the bad guy.
yeah.
They
They have like 3 separate moments where like there are like 3 separate times during this movie where Gemma goes, "No, Megan's the bad guy." And then it's like, "No, Megan's not the bad guy." And it's like, "Oh, okay."
they
Megan's the bad guy. It's like, "No, Megan's not the bad guy. We've already proven that."
I'm noticing a pattern. Okay, I've seen a lot of bad content, right? But
Hmm.
when there's a that horrible phrase, strong female lead, which yeah, again, not a bad thing.
You can do.
Think Hunger Games, think Aliens, like it's but like I forget who it was, but there's one actress who said that like if she reads a script and it says strong female lead at the top, she just throws it away. And I'm just like, thank you, because that is when you focus on that, the movie it just becomes like terrible, like writing in that. But strong female led movies, written by women, they always have the same thing. Every man character is either evil or retarded, and if he's not evil retarded, like there's this like once in a lifetime like perfect guy, and then she's like falling for him. Guess what, he's the bad guy. Turns out twist,
Yeah.
the actually good guy was actually bad. It happened in She-Hulk, I think, like twice. It happened
Yeah.
in fucking I'm you know what, I guarantee you it happened in Argyle, did it not?
Mm, yes.
I, I don't even
Maybe.
remember. I don't remember.
I don't remember that
I
movie enough.
everyone pushed Argyle out of their minds, but it sounds like something that would happen. I've seen it in a lot of movies like that, and it's so cliche, and I saw it coming from a fucking miles away that
Yeah.
Christian was gonna be bad, and oh my god, this
Yeah.
guy,
Fucking Chris Chan was a bad guy. Who knew?
who thought? No, oh my god, this man had all the acting capabilities of a wilted slice of lettuce. Oh my god, he was terrible.
He fucking like, and then when
Was
they had
he,
that
he
like
must have been a
that
robot
flip
too.
moment,
No,
when
go
they
ahead.
had that flip moment as well, like where he's like, "Oh, I'm the bad guy now." He goes from like decent guy to psychopath fucking instantly.
Yeah,
Or
he like
not psychopath, sociopath. But
yeah,
still,
he
like
fucking
he
he tells a robot to fucking shoot her friend, and he shoots her friend. And then like after they wake up, he's like, "Don't worry, your friend's alive. She's okay. We got her in the. She's resting, recovering, right?" And then like one scene later, he's like, "I'm just gonna have to kill you and all your friends." And I'm like, "What a fucking switch that
yeah.
was! Why help her
And then
recover from what
and then
you did
literally
to her
later he's
to kill her?"
and then he does the thing he does the thing where he wants to control her and like make her someone that she's not and make her like him.
Yeah. Oh, the classic
Like
evil
all
man
like
plan.
all men do, right?
My God,
No.
it's are they all in a club or something, the people who make these movies, because they're all the same and they
They
all have
have
the
to.
same problems with men, and they all have the same problems writing men practically. It's such a fucking slog. Dude, Megan the robot had more inflection in her vocal acting range than the bad guy did. Like he fucking he was a fucking plank of wood. He read all of his lines like monotonously. Like I can't get over, like I'm kind of bouncing back and forth around all the bad things wrong with this movie as they come to my mind, because that's all you can focus on and that's all you can talk about. It's
Oh, how the
such
mighty fall.
fucking shit. It's slop. It's so bad.
Dude.
Remember? Hey, do you
So,
remember
Megan,
Sorry, do you remember the fat gay guy in the wig from the trailer who said, "I don't care if she killed 4 people. She's a badass warrior
I wasn't
queen
even in
princess."
the
He
movie.
wasn't in the movie. They cut that out of the movie. I was like, where are they possibly going to put this in? Where are they going to
See,
slide this into
that's
the
where
movie? And they cut it out.
so here's the thing. I thought I sussed out where they were going to put that because they go to that
The AI
AI
convention?
convention.
Yeah.
And I thought the way that they were like, she's the most recognized, robot in the world. How are you
Yeah.
gonna get her in? And I thought she was just gonna walk up as herself because there were people there dressed as Megan.
Right? You didn't need the disguise. You could have been like, it's a convention. You could have had the Cosmo and Wanda effect where you could have just gone as who you are, and it's like, oh, nice Megan costume.
As
It's
long
really
as
good.
long as you, yeah, as long as you do not do the whole like, as long as you don't do the whole robot thing like she did.
Yeah, she like fucking like swung her head around and like rotated, and everyone was like, it's a real robot. Which, like, there's
Yeah, like,
hundreds of real robots at this
oh,
real robot convention. I don't know what the fucking problem was. It's
so,
so not
sir,
well thought out. They even have. Sorry,
I have.
sorry. I got one more
Go
point
ahead.
that I'll let you give it over
Yeah.
to you. But like, fucking, they're freaking out when Megan's on stage doing the dance or whatever. It's like, why is she doing this? Why is she doing? Why is she? Why she's drawing attention to herself? This is really bad. Why is this even happening? And like, I turn to you and like, you know why it's happening because everyone on TikTok got so excited when she did a dance in the first movie. So now she's got to dance again. That's the only
Yeah.
reason why there's a fucking musical dance number. And we're not even going to talk about her fucking song.
I am gonna talk about it because
Uh,
it's fucking bullshit and it doesn't need to be in the movie. Why? They have a full like 2-3 minutes. She starts singing a song, and even Gemma is like, "Why are you doing this right now? I don't need you to sing to me."
for
And I'm
TikTok.
like, "Fuck off." Anyway, I have sad news, Kellen.
What? Megan 3.0?
Uh, no. No, I have sad news because you brought up the writers because it's usually the writers are the problem, not the directors. It's usually the writers.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, there were three writers on this movie. One is a dude named Gerard Johnstone, who is literally unknown. He did like three other things like several years ago, so I'm not
Okay.
even gonna worry about this dude. He directed the last Megan movie, I guess. Uh, that he's the director of this. Okay, so
Yes.
that's fine. That makes sense. Uh, you have someone named Akila Cooper who apparently did the writing for Hellfest.
Okay.
Which was
Well,
that sucks.
one of the reasons why Hellfest was so good is because the actors were allowed to ad lib most of their lines and they felt like real human conversation.
Fair. But the last one is James Wan, who
He's a hit and
wrote
miss,
the
dude.
first. He wrote the first Saw movie,
I'm
and
aware of who James
like
Wan is because he also did all the Conjuring movies, which were terrible, and he also did the Aquaman movies, which were the
oh, he
Aquaman
did.
movies. So I'm not
Fair.
completely impressed on seeing James Wan's name anymore. Plus,
You,
he's got a
fair.
fucking deal at Blumhouse. He writes half of the Blumhouse movies nowadays.
Yeah. Dang. All right. Well, anyway, we've talked about this shit long enough. I think we should move on to the
Long story
rankings.
short, it's
I'm
shit.
gonna Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start this off. I'm gonna give this like a 3.
Wow, really? Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking about giving it a 4, but like I realized that's how much it angered me.
Yeah.
So, and honestly, I would rather rewatch the Minecraft movie than watch this.
At least you can
So
enjoy that
that puts it at 3.
ironically. No,
Yeah, exactly.
I'm giving this a 2. It was such a fucking slog. You know how bad this was? There were 3 other people who had tickets to see this movie when we bought our tickets, and none of them showed up. We got this to ourselves by process of elimination because all the people, there was a guy next to us who didn't show up, and there was 2 or 3 people directly behind us, and none of them showed up.
um, you know what? Actually,
What?
because I'm looking at my list, because I thought I had
Changing his
Minecraft
number
much lower.
mid-podcast.
I apologize because I realized that the low end Well, nah, I'm gonna keep it at 3 because the only thing
Good.
keeping it from being a 2, the only thing keeping it from being a 2 is that the bottom of my threes is Mickey 17. And I would not rather watch that than this again.
Fair
I'd rather
enough.
watch this than be forced to sit through Mickey 17 again.
Good. I didn't want to actually change your fucking number on the screen above your head there.
No, that's fine. I was gonna change it until I saw that Mickey 17 was at the bottom of my threes, and I'm like, yeah, never mind, it's safe.
All right. Moving on to our next movie, we have Disney Pixar's Elio. Isaac, take us away.
Elio, an underdog with an active imagination, finds himself inadvertently beamed up to the Communiverse, an interplanetary organization with representatives from galaxies far and wide. Mistakenly identified as Earth's ambassador to the rest of the universe, he starts to form new bonds with eccentric aliens while discovering who he's truly meant to be.
Okay. I told Isaac this before we recorded, and so I'm gonna let you know now. This movie's nothing. I
It's nothing.
can't find anything to say about it, the actual film itself. Okay. Um, and once again, we're gonna cover this thing like, yes, it is a kids movie, but it is also a family movie, and that does not mean that it gets a free pass to be bad or low quality, or oh, you're too old to be in the demographic it's geared towards. That's a non-argument, because Lion King is a kids and family movie, and it's still enjoyable to this day. You know, fucking, I know a lot of people were excited to go see DreamWorks, right? Like, just because something is for kids does not give them a pass to make it just insufferably bad, or like make it low quality. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, kids content should be better, if anything, because
Yeah.
this is something you're exposing children to. So like, it should be held to a higher quality. Movies for kids
Bullshit.
used to be better. And that's just a flat out statement. Like, they used to be good. They used to just be good movies in their own right. So just blanket covering there. So I don't have anything to say about this movie. Literally no opinion. Like there's just nothing. It's so forgettable. It's so bland. It's so flavorless, tasteless,
You know,
classless. There's nothing.
it's really funny because apparently this movie has like a 7 out of 10 overall. Has like 4.1 stars on the Google overview. And in my opinion,
Isaac, we don't.
I
This is
no
why we're
no
doing the podcast, is
no
because we
no
can't
no
trust any
no
of those things.
Well, no, I like to think it's because no one has fucking gone to go see this movie because anyone who would rate it shit already knows it's gonna be shit, so they didn't bother to go see it. So the only people rating it are the ones that went and saw it, which is virtually fucking no one because this movie is barely broke $100 million in the box office.
Exactly.
So like,
So you can't gauge that really. So that being said, what we're mostly going to talk about for this is the impact of the movie, what it means for Disney, Pixar, and movies as a whole, and just a bit of the story and history of the movie in production. Um, because Elio's kind of a running joke on the channel, because it was supposed to come out in 2023, where we saw posters for it in the movie theaters, and it just kept getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back, and here we are 2 years later finally getting the movie. So we had a joke that it was just never coming out. And lo and behold, I have found an article talking about why it took so long. So strap yourselves in, because I'm going to tell you the story of why Elio took so long. The original director, it is important for you to know, was a gay Hispanic man. That's crucial to the story. He had made Elio kind of as a reflection of his childhood. You know, self-insert. You know, always goes great in kids movies when, you know, it's just a self insert. That's always fantastic, always goes over well. And Elio was supposed to be a much more flamboyantly gay kid. Examples they used, there was posters in pictures in his bedroom hinting at a male crush. He was making clothes out of garbage on the beach. He turned a pink plastic bag into a little crop top, and he strutted his stuff on the beach to a hermit crab with a trashin' show, as he called it. And that's what the movie was more going to be like. And he did a test screening. He did 2 test screenings. He did one for, critics and general audiences, like the initial test screening, and everyone thought, it was okay. And then they asked how many of you would go see this in theaters, and not a single hand was raised. Nobody, even the people who kind of liked the movie, would go and see it, would be willing to go see it in theaters, right? So that did not go over very well. And then he showed it to like board members at Pixar, like executives, manager, people in charge of things in the company. And they all did not like it. They were all like really giving really negative feedback about the whole thing. And the director took that very personally and very emotionally, and he left the room crying. He left the room crying, and it's unclear whether he was so emotionally distraught over the feedback that he quit, or the room of higher ups at Pixar was so unimpressed with the movie that they fired him. But one of those things is true, and he went out the door. And with him, he also took America Ferrera, which, kind of for the best, because she was pretty insufferable in the Barbie movie, and really not a fan of her anymore. And since then, they replaced him with the 2 girls who were in charge of making the Turning Red movie, which I also didn't really enjoy. And because of that, they had to completely rework the entire movie, but it still kind of held the same like elements and like odor of what it used to be. So they kind of rebuilt it, but it still had the same structure of the original, which like it causes a lot of problems
Yeah.
consistently wise and message wise. Kind of like you built up this outline, right? And you filled it up with what it was supposed to be, and then you took it out and you just kind of like jammed a bunch of stuff into the vague outline to kind of make it what it was meant to be. Like it's a mess is what that results in. And it it's a pattern at Disney, is that they make a movie, the test screenings are failures, and then they scramble to fill in the blanks with something else. That's how it went with Captain America Brave New World, to the point where it was originally called New World Order and it was completely different. It just, you see the pattern repeating with Disney. Have idea for movie, announced movie, test screenings bomb, rewrite, release, failure. And and Elio is just no exception to that. And it's getting tiring. It's getting tiring.
They're they're getting to a point where they almost have to realize that making a movie for, yeah, whatever, it's more of a common thing nowadays, mainly because it's fucking everywhere. So yeah, of course it's more common. It's still like making a movie for a minority group and then being shocked that it doesn't do
Yeah.
well shouldn't be shocking.
Right? Like here's the thing, okay? So Disney and Pixar, again, and this is a follow up from the How to Train Your Dragon thing. Disney Pixar is on a multi-year losing streak. I
Oh yeah, they've
once
been losing ever for fucking years.
Once again, I will predict DreamWorks and Illumination Animation will surpass them as the giants of animated kids and family movies. Because they're putting out things like the Mario movie from Illumination Animation, and you're getting things like Puss in Boots and the Wild Robot from DreamWorks, and they are making things that are good,
Yeah.
which is unthinkable. And I am happy to see them fall from their ivory towers. Okay? They need to just make things good. It's not that hard. Other people do it, other companies do it all the time. It's possible to
Yeah.
do such a thing, to make something good, entertaining, funny, enjoyable. Make characters that people care about. Elio is such a nothing character. He's got nothing to
He
him.
is. Yeah,
So much.
like they've just been not getting a lot
It's
like at all.
it's gone to such a point where the very first thing that you learn about Elio, like the very first opening scene, his parents are dead. They immediately want you to jump onto the sob story. Oh, I care about him because his parents are dead and he's sad. It's like, no, you need something more than that. You need like, oh, he's sad and lonely, and you don't want him to be sad. Why? Why don't I want him to be sad and lonely? He's annoying. Like, he's not funny. He's not charismatic. He's not like there's you need to have something. I was comparing it in my head to Big Hero 6, right? So Big Hero 6, the main character kid, he starts off with his parents dead, but he's living with his aunt and his older brother, so he's like still happy, like he's kind of moved on since that, and there's other stuff going on. You get a chance to
Yeah.
flesh out his character, flesh out his relationships with his older brother, his aunt, and his older brother's friends, and all that. You get introduced to that, and then the tragedy hits. Then his older brother dies, and then the character that you've been with the whole time gets brought down in his depression, the sadness, the loss. You already care about the character before the tragedy hits, and that deepens the effect of the character. You can't just like smack out the gate. Oh, his parents are dead. Be sad for him. It's like, I
Well,
just
yeah, and the
sat
other
down. I
thing,
don't even know who this kid is yet. I'm still confused on how to pronounce his fucking name at the moment.
yeah, the other thing is like they went from it makes zero sense because this kid went from my parents are dead to and then he saw a thing about there might be life in space and then devoted his life to the world doesn't want me, I'm gonna leave like he
I gotta think about
literally
aliens right
he
now, dude.
like up until that point there was no indication that his aunt didn't want him.
Yeah. And to be honest, it's more like he's causing a lot of trouble. Because he's, getting into fights, he's skipping school, he's, not eating, he's running away, he's hiding in garbage, he's, you know, causing problems at her job because he's got to be there. And like it's just he even points to the fucking book. He's like, "Oh, that one's you," and it's the overwhelmed one. Yes, it's overwhelmed because you're causing
You're a
problems. It's
shit
like,
kid.
and it's like, oh no, she doesn't want me because I'm causing problems. It's like, I don't know. Maybe you could just not, skip school and get into fights and like
Sorry.
it's not like him getting abducted by aliens is like a part of his personality. It's just like this weird goal he has. Like it's not something too big of an ask to
He's literally just decided.
stop skipping school, stop stealing other kids' ham radios, stop fighting, stop running away, stop causing so much problems and like it would literally be fine. Okay? Like
Yeah.
it's not like she doesn't like you for your personality or for who you are or that you're there. You know, it's not like you're big upend to her life. It's just like just you're acting erratic and making crazy choices.
You have decided that the world doesn't want you, so you're just deciding to reject the world
Yeah.
anyways and just be
And
like that's exactly what he's doing. And it's like the fuck? And then it gets to the point where like they all find out that he lied to them, that he's the ambassador of Earth. And they're like, you need to go home. And it's like, yeah, you're just a kid. And it's like, okay, but up until now, literally none of you clocked that, like at all.
they're aliens. I don't
Like
fucking know.
he's
Can you tell how
well
old any of
still
them are?
fair, I guess, but but like they just take everything he has like at face value, and they're supposed to be the smartest beings in the universe. Like they just immediately trust everything this kid says.
Isaac, if you were boarded above an alien conglomerate like that and they said like, "Oh, I have 20 brains and 9 penises," would you not believe him just because he said it? He's a fucking
I
alien. I don't know
guess
how him and his planet and his species works.
it is. It's also funny because it's like they're supposed to be like all over the universe, like from all over the universe, but there's maybe like 12 different species on this thing.
They have a whatever. I don't know. They can't. Pixar can't
Alright.
animate hundreds of people. Come on now.
This movie was just shit.
I
Plus
did.
it also suffers from the art style Kellen hates.
Oh, the fucking Cal Arts art style. It's fucking terrible, and it doesn't lend itself to 3D animation well at all. No, at all. It sucks in 2D. It sucks really bad in 3D. And it's the same one. Fucking Disney Pixar keeps using the same fucking CalArts art style in all their fucking movies nowadays. Fucking Strange World, Luca, Elio, Turning Red.
Turning Red,
It's
Soul.
so bad. It's so bad. Stop making shit look like that. Please. Please stop. God damn it. I hate it so much. It's like the corporate Memphis version of like movies. It's corporate Memphis and CalArts need to just die. Just let them peter off into existence. No one ever draw anything like that ever again, please. I swear to God. One more thing before we get out of here is that I noticed an incongruity in the movie. So as yeah,
Oh, what?
incongruity, you know, a little problem with how things are gonna
Okay.
shake out here.
Okay.
If you recall, if you were paying enough attention, uh, Glorden, the little worm guy, I'm surprised I remembered his name. He accidentally hit the button and the ship crashed to Earth, and they have to sneak back into the compound to save Gordon and get the ship and fly off into outer space, right, and save the day, and they do all that.
Yeah.
And then movie happens. You know, they get back, they do all that, and then they return to Earth happily ever after, right? It's like, oh, I love you, Auntie, oh, I love you, Elio, and this, that, and the other
Yeah,
thing. They
yeah.
all live happily ever after. Um, Problem with that is that you broke into a United States military compound,
Yeah.
assaulted the United States military, and stole a top secret alien ship recovered by the US military on
And they
camera
have you
in
on camera of
sights.
doing this.
They've seen you. You're going
You
to jail.
waved goodbye. You waved
You waved
goodbye.
goodbye. She's losing her job and she's
Yeah.
going to jail.
Yeah.
You're going to prison for the rest of your life. You can't just break into a United States military compound and steal top secret military, you know, taking things. Like, you're going to military prison. Didn't think that one through quite so much, did you? Going to
No.
military prison.
Anyway, we've talked enough about this shit.
Let's get out of here.
More than it deserves.
Let's get on into the rankings. Now normally with something so nothing, I would give it a 5, but it's there there's just so much shit attached to it, and it's so just a continuation of all the grog that is Disney Pixar now. And like, I everyone wants them to do original things instead of doing remakes and sequels, but we also want them to do good original things because that's what people enjoy, you know? And then you can, if you make it good and people enjoy it, then you can make sequels and live action remakes of new stuff. You're running out of things to make sequels of and live action remakes of. So why don't you make something good? So I'm going to give this a 4 out of 10 because it's just so insultingly nothing.
Yeah, I'm also giving this a 4 out of 10. This is like the movie was not great. Like the only things like this is gonna sit in the middle of my fours. Like I'm even gonna say that right out the gate. The only thing below it in my fours is the two other Marvel movies we've seen this year. So like because those
That's
were
okay.
like aggressively bad. So
Yeah.
um but yeah, no, I'm gonna give this just a straight up 4. It was just bad.
Yeah. It's not just nothing, it's bad and it's like horribly nothing. All right, moving on to our last movie of the podcast, we have from the book of John Wick, Ballerina.
Trained in the assassin traditions of the Ruska Roma, Eve Macaro takes on an army of killers as she seeks revenge against those responsible for the death of her father.
Nice. Now, I'll have to say there's a overall positive and overall negative I have for this movie. Overall positive is I like that they made the fighting realistic, especially with a woman lead, because I hate it in movies and TV shows where they have this puny little thing. They did it in Rings of Power, if any unfortunate soul actually watched that. And they did it most recently in the new Captain America movie, where they have this little tiny 4 foot 11, 90 pound woman just absolutely bodying dudes like 3 times her size. And it's not realistic, it's goofy, it just takes you out of the movie entirely. But right off the bat, and even in the trailer, they tell you like you are always going to be outmatched. They're always going to be bigger than you. They're always going to be stronger than you. So you have to think. You have to improvise. You have to use weapons. You have to cheat. You know, you have to gain an advantage any way you can. And they built the
Yeah,
action in the movie around that. She uses weapons. She uses improvised weapons, and she cheats. So she will use like ice skates and like swing them around like blades. She will, you know,
like
pick
at one point she just
pick
like punches a dude like right in the nuts
yeah,
to gain an advantage.
right? She will like take the the bad guy's guns. She will, duck. She will deflect. They did really really cool, fight sequences here. And I'm
Yeah,
so
very
glad.
rarely in this movie, almost never in this movie does she actually overpower someone on her own merit.
Yeah, like
It's
out of
usually
pure
she's
strength
using
because
yeah, like there's one moment where this dude like has her and everything, and she just like uses like she doesn't just like break free of his grip. Like
yeah.
she like pushes off something and like slams him onto a table so his grip loosens and
And
she can
she
get
gets
out.
her ass beat a lot.
She
Not
does.
not to say that in particular is a good thing, but it's more realistic going up against guys who are twice your size and twice your strength. You're going to get your ass beat. It's going to be like pretty hard to beat people like that, and they show that as an actual like Herculean task, taking out these giant guys and well-trained assassins as they are, you know? And she went up against John Wick. They send John Wick after to kill her, and the only thing that stops the fight, like that obviously neither of them are going to die because this is before John Wick 4 and she's still got to live the rest of the movie. Um
Yeah.
but she doesn't beat him. Obviously John Wick is John Wick. You're not going to beat John Wick. Um
Yeah.
but what puts an end to the fight is John Wick's mercy. Like he feels bad about killing a girl, and especially one that has like such an upbringing and a vengeance story just like he does. And he's like, you know what, I will give you till midnight, and then after that, like, I can't, like, I have to kill you by midnight, so I will give you until midnight to kill the guy who's causing the problem, to get the hit put out on you. So
Yeah.
his mercy is the thing that ends the fight. She doesn't like magically defeat like the most skilled and feared assassin in the whole movie. So it feels realistic within the bounds of not only the story but the action and actual capabilities. Now, the negative side about this is that I personally don't feel that there's enough to her character to make her stand out or be likable or be able to carry on the franchise. Like, she's fine for like a one-off side story like this, but if they were to like continue on and make like a Ballerina 2, 3, 4, she just doesn't have the charisma or like, character draw,
Gravity.
or yeah, that gravitas that John Wick has. John Wick, everyone loves Keanu Reeves like as an actor and as a guy and this, that, and the other thing. But like,
It's it's honestly not even just Keanu Reeves that makes John Wick appealing. It's because
yeah, it's
they
his.
he's mysterious. He has all this stuff. Like, there's stuff in the past that you've seen him do. Like, and there's so much more. Like, once you start understanding the way that the world, like this assassin world works,
Yeah,
like, he gets infinitely more terrifying because like those gold coins they use, they're not like, oh, you get this many for like this thing. Each one of those coins is like a service that he provided.
yeah, they're
It's
earned.
a task that he was given. Yeah,
It's
like it's a
it's
task
basically
that
like
he
a
was given.
physical
And he has
"you
like
owe me a favor" coin.
yeah, and he has like several hundred of them.
It's true. In
Like,
this is
so he is a terrifying man.
Yeah, this is my favorite part of the first John Wick here, is that it really sets up how terrifying this man is because is when the mob boss's son brings the car into the garage. Like, he steals John Wick's car
Yeah.
and brings it into the garage to sell it or scrap it or whatever. And John Leguizamo's character, he's like, "Do you know whose car this is?" And he's like, "Yes, some guy,
Yeah.
whatever. We killed his dog." And he's just like, and he punches the mob boss's son. He kicks the shit out of him. He says, "Get the fuck out of here. Get out of my garage." And the
Yeah.
mob boss, this is a cold fucking Godfather. Like, snap my fingers and I'll erase you from the
Yeah.
tax system. The not even the IRS can find you. Like, you'll end up in a
Yeah.
river kind of thing. And he calls him on the phone and he says, "Is there any particular reason why you punched my son?" Like, kind of like,
Yeah.
you better have a good excuse or you will go missing kind of phone call. And he says, "As a
Yeah.
matter of fact, I do. They stole John Wick's car and they killed his dog." And the mob
And
boss
he
just
just goes,
"Oh,"
"Oh."
and he hangs up. Knowing,
Yeah.
and that "oh" is just his acknowledgement that soon his son will be dead. And he's just,
Yes.
I understand. Have a nice day. Like, that is scary. He's that, like, it immediately sets up how intimidating this man is, that a mafia head who has the kind of power to just like, "Hey, this is basically a phone call letting you know that you will not be alive soon." He will
Yeah.
just he's got the intimidation factor to turn that around, that like, "Oh, this is actually a phone call that my son will no longer be alive soon. Have a
Yeah.
nice day."
She's
Hang up.
she's less intimidating and more impressive
Yeah, she's
in
more
this
like
world.
good at thinking quickly on her feet and using things in her environment to kill. Not to the point of John Wick where he killed 3 guys with a pencil, and we saw a little bit of that in, but
Yeah.
he's John Wick, my guy. It's going to be
Yeah. He is the Baba Yaga. He is the boogeyman.
it's going to be
Not even. He's the
damn
one you sent to kill the boogeyman.
Exactly. He's gonna be damn near impossible to try and replace with a fresh face. So I
Yeah,
kind of feel like they weren't trying to do that. They just wanted to get out like another movie under their belt to kind of
yeah.
flesh out the
It
world a little
does.
bit more, which it does.
It is. It's a cool world. Like they've built up a really cool like it's one of those things where it's like, oh, there's only a couple assassins in the world, and it's like, no,
No,
this is an
it's
entire society of assassins that exist in this world, and there is a huge interconnected like network of stuff just all over the
yeah.
place.
They have the
It's
Continental
so cool.
hotels like set up like all over the world.
One of them is like literally right smack dab in the middle of New York.
Yeah.
Like in quite an actually like famous building, if I might add, as well.
Yeah.
Like
Do you think they run like
it's
regular
right under their
hotels on the
nose.
bottom floors and then have all the assassins on like certain floors and whatever?
That'd be
They
cool.
keep they're so underground. They like operate as a normal hotel, but if you pay with a coin, they're like, "Oh, we'll put you on the I kill people floor."
Yeah, like that's it. I also like all the rules and regulations that they
Yeah,
have,
they
and they
would have
stick
to.
to them,
It's
and they stick to them. It's great.
especially with the Continental. It's so well thought out and planned. Like it's actually feels like a real part of this world. Like they have all these
Yeah,
regulations, they have all these like treaties and stuff, and like, hey, we'll set you up for the night, but you can't conduct business. And if you conduct business, there's a a process we'll go through where you will die. It's called death.
yeah,
It's called death. That's
yeah.
what the process is you're dying. So yeah, I know it serves well as a piece to flesh out the story a lot more and give you some cool action to ooh and ah at, but in and of itself, I don't think it's anything too spectacular of a story.
Nah, it was just cool action. That's really all it was. Cause and you could tell that they knew that's all they really had.
Yeah,
Like because that's a majority of the movie is the action sequences. They were really long, and I liked that.
yeah,
Like I actually really liked how long the sequences were because it really showed just how much she's struggling to
yes,
like
yeah,
she is fighting to like John Wick only you only really get that with him when there's an absolute fucking insurmountable force against this man,
and he
and for
still
her
comes
you
out
can
on
tell
top.
she's just clawing to survive.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
I mean,
I honestly felt nothing when she found her sister and then
yeah, I was
she
like, oh
immediately
yeah,
died
oh, it was
right
her sister.
after.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, no, I didn't feel anything for that. No, again, like I think the biggest point to applaud this movie for is that they took the action realistically. Like the 120-pound woman is going to have to do a lot more to fight on the level of armed bodyguards 2 to 3 times her size. Like it's
Yeah, you
going
can
to be
only be
difficult.
so strong.
You can't just like ninja your way around them and take them out. It's not going to be that easy. It's not like it's not this isn't Marvel. This isn't things like that. So
I
realistically they treated it very very well, and I
yeah.
gotta applaud it to them because a lot of movies won't do shit like that. Anything else?
I don't really have much else to say, honestly.
Yeah,
Like
fair enough.
I know a lot of people like a big pull for this movie was Ana de Armas.
Who?
Like that was what the chick that played the ballerina.
Yeah, who?
Like there are dudes that frickin' like worship this woman,
Is she from something
basically.
else?
No, people just think well, I'm sure she is.
No.
Hold please.
Yeah, no.
She was in Knives Out. She was
Ugh.
in Blade Runner
Hmm?
2049. She was in
Was she the
The
giant
Gray
hologram
Man.
lady in 2049?
She was someone named Joy
I didn't
in
watch
2049.
2049. I need to. I need to.
She's been in like a bunch of like Hispanic stuff and things like that. Dudes just think she's hot,
Fair enough.
and that's really all it is. And like like people that's been a big driving force behind a lot of what I see on the internet about this movie, about the hype for this. They're like hot lady take down dudes,
Interesting,
you know,
interesting.
like
I
like
bet those
so
same people were really liked the scene where she stomped on that guy's balls.
probably yes.
You know, I don't know what I'm
Oh, also
insinuating
shout
yet,
out
but yes,
before
indeed.
we go any further, shout out to my boy Frank. I
Yes.
liked Frank. I thought that was a really cool moment actually because she's probing into this group that like it seems like the entirety of like this assassin society actively avoids because they don't follow their rules properly
Yeah.
and stuff. So and she gets to him and he's like, "Can I be Frank?" And it pans out and you see his name tag and she's like and it says Frank and she's like yeah, and he's like, "Good. I'd like to keep it that way." Like that's a good line. I like that a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, he was a cool guy. Norman Reedus. You know, he didn't get a chance to do a whole lot either, but you know, everyone likes him. He's always a good artist.
I like Norman Reedus. He's a really good actor.
And I knew they weren't gonna fucking kill him. You can't kill Norman Reedus and get away with it in a movie. Uh,
True.
anyways, moving on to the rankings here. I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna give Ballerina a nice middle of the row 7 out of 10. You know, it's good for the action. It's good for, you know, finally keeping a realistic sense of fighting with a female character rather than just having a 4'10", 90-pound woman just push giant bodyguards around like they're nothing, and that she actually has to, you know, think and fight and, you know, adapt and improvise and, you know, do anything she can to get on their fighting level because she's not going to be. And I gotta give them credit for that. I'm proud of my little movie doing that for me. Good job, guys.
I'm also giving this a 7 out of 10. Like you said, action really great. Fucking flamethrower fight was sick as fuck.
That was really cool. Yeah,
That was really cool. And like her using like the hose to like fight it back was a really good use of it.
dude, that guy
Uh,
stepping in the fire to like set his leg on fire and then like kicking and stomping on her with it. That's crazy.
that was cool. But overall, it was pretty good. I need to rewatch the John Wick movies
Yes, you do.
because according to this, it takes place between 3 and 4, which makes sense because 3 is the one where he's trying to escape New York.
Yeah.
And like that
Oh,
scene is
escape
in
New
the
York.
movie. Yeah, that scene is in the movie. So this movie takes place like sometime like in between those two movies.
Yeah.
It is a little weird in a sense because there's there's a thing that confused me about it, and I need to rewatch the movies to figure it out. But we already gave our rankings for this, and I don't want to talk too much longer after it, so I won't really get into it. Uh, but there is a moment of confusion with this that kind of brought it down a bit more, like a little lower on my in my sevens. It's a little less clear where this sits.
Hmm.
So,
Fair enough.
but yeah.
Cool. All right, that should wrap up our podcast here. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Please subscribe because it really helps us out. Isaac, would you care to give our lovely viewers a little sneak peek at what we could be looking at next time?
Yeah, so next time we don't really have a whole lot actually cuz we had this backlog. Next time definitely you'll be seeing Superman.
Yes,
The James Gunn
sir.
Superman movie. Going to go see that opening
Gonna
day.
go see
Really
that
excited for
on
that.
my birthday.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
going to be great. The new Jurassic World movie. We'll have that on there. And we're looking at another one. Maybe we'll see it, maybe we won't. It's a little more expensive. It's a movie, little indie movie called Skill House. Made by the same people who made Saw and stuff. So,
So
looks interesting.
could be interesting. Could be interesting. All right. Well, all that being said, guys, please, please, please subscribe because it keeps us going back to the theaters and bringing these videos back here to you. And until next time, guys, that's a wrap.
Roll credits.